Trusted for their power, reliability, and performance, the Ski-Doo Expedition and Ski-Doo Skandic are the go-to machines for thriving in Alaska's harshest winters. Whether you're looking to upgrade your current ride or get your first snowmobile, these machines might be exactly what you need. Let's take a look at their basic controls, standout features, and available upgrades. We have 3 machines in the field today. This is a great time to visually compare the differences. We have a Skandic 900 Ace SE, an Expedition 900 Ace LE, and an Expedition 900 Ace SE. The SE comes with more bells and whistles. Think of the LE as the base model. You can essentially turn an LE into an SE by buying accessories after the fact. The Expedition and Skandic are very similar, but there's some major differences. Primarily, these differences live in the front end, in suspension, and the underbelly. Let's look at the Expedition first. The Expedition uses A-arms in its suspension system. If you're planning a backcountry trip, these might be good things to have in your repair kit, as this is a common component that gets damaged when off-trail. Here's a quick view from a different angle. Keeping with the theme of protecting your A-arms, there's a skid plate you can add. The skid plate adds additional protection for the lower side of the motor. Now let's look at the Skandic. It has a completely different suspension system and underbelly. The Skandic doesn't have A-arms. It has vertical pogos. This system is much more rugged in comparison, and as you can imagine, more resilient to running into things while off-trail. The Skandic is designed to be high-centered in deep snow for flotation. It uses something referred to as the third ski to accomplish this. Nearly everything else in these machines are identical. Now let's do a walk around and look at all the accessories and components. This is the upgraded bumper. It's a great brush guard, and it gives you a place to pull on when trying to get unstuck. Here's what it looks like on and off a machine. If you do more off-trail riding, ski skins might give you a little more flotation. As you can see, these skis are much wider than the other ones. Regardless of what skis you have, they all have handles. If you've noticed that your track is frozen to the ground, this is a good way to unstick it. Use the ski handles and the stock bumper if you ever need to tow your machine. Additionally, shift into neutral. This frees up the track. You can do the same thing by removing the belt. If you do plan to tow anything, I suggest shifting to low gear. Limit your speed to 20 miles per hour in low. If you plan to pull a trailer, especially a heavy load, a J-hitch is a great accessory to have. It's easy to operate with gloves on, and it's got a locking mechanism so you don't lose your trailer on a bumpy trail. I've used both styles, and this is my favorite so far. If you want flexibility in your towing, you can easily swap out the hitch. It's this simple. Not all tow-behind sleds mount to a J-hitch, so you'll have to use the right hitch depending on what sled you're going to tow. There are many options for tracks. This is a studded track with 1.5-inch paddles. These are also called lugs. The width of the track is shown here on the side. This is a 20-inch track. There are 16 and 24-inch options. The track pivots to help you in reverse in deep snow. Instead of diving into the snow like most machines, this machine forms a ramp and allows snow to flow underneath the track. This is a very great feature. There are a lot of options to outfit the rear of your machine. This is what the largest box looks like. It uses pull tabs just like a Yeti cooler. You can fit a ton of gear in here. Everything from safety equipment to things you'd need on a weekend at the cabin. It even has external storage. These are dedicated for axes and chainsaws, but sometimes I strap random gear to it. The box lid sometimes runs into random gear, but if you're okay with that, it can work. If you're an ice fisherman, you can attach an ice auger attachment. And if you're a hunter, you can attach a gun boot. There's additional storage under the passenger seat. There are 2 latches to pull to access this. This is a great place for manuals, spare belts, and other parts that you don't necessarily need to get all the time. This is also where the battery terminals are located. It's a pretty easy spot to get a jump. The battery cover has some grooves cut underneath it. Sometimes it's hard to get sat right. Make sure you got it covered correctly so water doesn't get in here. Don't be shy when putting this back together. You don't want your passenger bouncing around and having a seat come loose. There are a couple of options for grips on the back seat. These grips do not have heaters in them. They're about as basic as you can get. These grips, on the other hand, do have heaters in them, and a wind guard. Grips like these allow your passenger to turn up and down the heat. The heat comes out of the grip right here. On the dash of the machine, there's a glove compartment. This is great for wallets, keys, and maybe a couple snacks. There's an extended glove box that fits about double. In my experience, these glove boxes get a little warm as you travel around, so it's a nice place to put a hat or maybe even a pair of gloves. The throttle rotates around so that you can use your fingers. This is great if your thumb needs a break on the trail. The track brake is on the left side of the handlebars. You can lock the brake by pushing this lever, and release it by pulling the brake. This is how you turn your high beams on and off. And the yellow-orange button is how you start the machine and put the machine in reverse or forward. To start the machine, first mount the key. Then ensure that the kill switch is in its upright position. The engine will not start with this down. If the machine is on, pressing the start button will shift you from forward to reverse. And by pressing it again, from reverse to forward. To turn the machine off, press down the kill switch. When the motor's running, the handlebars have heated grips and a heated throttle. On the left is your controls for your heated grips. The display will indicate the changes you're making. On the right is the temperature control for your throttle. Again, the display will indicate the changes you're making. There are 3 modes of travel: Eco, Normal, and Sport. To toggle between the 3, use the lever underneath the handlebars. Eco mode is great for light travel, and it also smooths out the throttle. In Sport mode, the throttle is very responsive. You can navigate through your system and display settings, as well as your odometer, using these buttons. I suggest referring to the manual if you want to learn more about these settings. Additional upgrades to the handlebars are pogies. These will definitely keep your hands much warmer in colder weather. You can also add a place to mount your navigation systems. Additionally, you can optimize the driver's experience by adding on this quick adjustment lever to the handlebars. Now I know you have questions, but now you have good questions. I respond to everything in the comments section, so leave your questions there. And head on over to the Wicked Alaska channel page and watch one of our adventures. The Alaskan Rattlesnake. Welcome to Wicked Alaska's channel page, where you'll find over 100 videos on Alaskan adventures. I adventure year-round, so I have a little bit of everything to share with you. The beard frost is a good indicator that we've been out here for a while. With new videos every week, a subscription means you won't miss an adventure. I love hearing your outdoor experiences as well, so don't be shy in the comments section. See you on the trail, or see you on the water.